So let's get started here with the October new product review. There's an overview of what we'll go over today. So we have some Detroit diesel items and some Cummins items to talk about. The first one is for the Series 60 14-liter engine. These fit the DDEC 5 EPA 07 14-liter engine. And this is a monotherm single-piece piston. So you have a forged piston there, induction hardened cylinder liners, and all the features and benefits that we have been selling for the Series 60 for a number of years. This is just the latest, later iteration of that engine. If we don't have the best coverage in the industry now, we're certainly close to having complete coverage for that engine series. But again, if there's something else we need to add to our product line, please let us know. Next, let's talk a little bit about DD15. We've added a lot of items for that engine, so this is just kind of a catch-up list for the highlighted parts that have been added. There's some crank seals on there. There's an oil cooler core. The inserts are going to be a good product, I think. So let's just talk about those for a second. The DD15 cylinder head, the OEM does not offer many traditional replacement parts for that head separately. So if you're changing valve guides, which are high wear items, obviously, and the valve inserts, you cannot purchase those from the OEM. So we developed the MCB 1856 and MCB 1934 valve seats for that reason. And they're pictured there upside down, but you can see them. Also, we have the crank seals, which is a directional type seal, PTFE design. We also have the oil cooler pictured there. It's a 15-plate cooler, which is the most popular. We also have the turbo mounting gasket, which is somewhat unique. It's a multi-layer steel gasket. And for whatever reason, the OEM wants that oriented the way we have it stamped there. So that's the turbo mounting gasket for those, multi-layer steel. The exhaust manifold gaskets are shown there. There's two different part numbers for them, for the front half of the engine and for the back half of the engine. Those are also multi-layer steel. We also are going to be offering the, if we don't have them already, the water manifold gaskets, which are often changed when the head comes off that engine. So we continue to add parts for the DD15. If there's something you're looking for or something where we can develop, please let us know. Next thing we'll talk about is the ISX or QSX, the rocker lever pin and roller. As I mentioned in the write-up there, the OEM has changed that design over the years. Started with a 14-millimeter roller, they went to 15-millimeter rollers, and then they went to 17-millimeter rollers. So recently they've developed a steel axle pin, and you can see a picture of that pin there. The easiest way to tell a steel axle is it's hollow. So the earlier ones are brass or bronze alloy. The later ones have a steel axle. What's unique about that steel axle is it's DLC coated, and that coating that you see there is similar to what some of the parts we use in fuel injection. So it's a very, very thin, hard coating for durability.
Joe, what's DLC stand for?
Diamond-like carbon. So there's a sequence of arms that take DLC. I'm just going to skip ahead here. The original arms were released in TSB 160088 in May of 2018. And that was the first release of the steel axles. This particular series of arms, 405, 9353, and there's 6 different arms for these, have already updated to 547 part numbers. So Cummins continues to, let's just say, make improvements to the top end of this engine. And this steel pin is our latest service kit to repair those engines. We're going to add the new pin and roller kits to this TPG number 58. So we'll put out a revision to this as soon as we can get to it. The roller is 17 millimeters in that kit, so it would be similar to the one shown here. Next, let's talk about additional ISX, QSX idler gear bushings. And this is the bushing. There's two big idler gears that go in the front of that engine that drive the accessories for it, drives the cam, drives the pumps and whatnot. And the gears look virtually identical. There's two different gears, but this bushing is the same for both, the 368-0201. What I'll mention on this, that bushing is not available from Cummins. You have to buy the entire gear assembly. So that bushing helps if you need to change those bushings in that gear, because that's what wears. We do offer those as a service part. Next, we'll talk about the lift pump for the later style engines. There's two different lift pumps. There's actually four different ISX lift pumps, but I'm just listing the most common ones. These are for truck engines, 493-5092 and 493-5094. And those pumps come with the base assembly, and then there's an electrical connection that hooks into the wiring harness for the engine, and that's the lift pump. So in other words, it's a fuel transfer pump. It's not the pressure pump. And then last item, for the Cummins mid-range ISC, ISL, we have the fuel pump Tappet, which is the Tappet for the high pressure pump for those little engines. That's got a new body, new axle pin and roller, and the pin and roller obviously are precisely engineered for the pressures that pump sees. We are developing some gaskets and seals for that pump as well. But this is the first item we're offering for that high pressure pump for ISL and ISC. So with that, that's all for me. Everybody have a nice weekend.
All right, you too, Joe. Thanks for your help.
Thanks for everything.